I think we'll just do just like a little piece of it, Chris, and just I'll just do like a little piece of a song just to make sure that we can all consent as grown-ups, and then once we get past that, I'll just go into the regular set if that's okay. Okay, cool. Hey everybody, how are you? Okay? Cool. My name is Derek. And my name is Derek Zanetti, and most of these songs are all from an album that I'm making called Zanetti Spaghetti, and it's about my life, and it's about my family, and it's about people who I've met, and it's about the big, huge pot of spaghetti that we're all in right now, right currently and now, right now, and it's everybody that I've ever met is in every single one of the songs, and everybody that I haven't met is in every single one of the songs, and I'm going to play some new stuff for you, but I'm just going to do a little tester first. And this is how consent works as grown-ups. If we like the song, we all give a thumbs up, and if we don't like it, show's over. And we'll just go. Everybody come on up a couple steps, too. It's so lonely. January 1979, I saw a terrible crash, and I couldn't help but laugh. My ear pressed against the glass like a glass on the wall of a hospital photograph. My forehead no longer sweet, withholding kisses worthy of your fiery lips. I was floating in a peaceful sea, rescued by a sinking ship. Does that sound okay? We got consent? This first song is called The Hell You Know the Most, and it's about somebody in my family who nobody else knows who it is, but I know who it is, and they know who it is too. They're gonna have to wait for the record to come out. It goes like this. Yeah! Made us enemies, now everything's political. Chicken winged into an argument, last Christmas was so difficult. My cell phone screen's been bleeding me dry as a Pinot Noir. To prove that I'm a sucker for just one sign from the Lord, there's a fighting chance we'll make it out with bruised egos and cotton mouth, while the devil's got his pedal to the dirt. And I won't call you if you don't call me. If you see me first, you can let it be. But I'll wave back if you wave at me first. My skin's wearing thin, nothing makes me smile. Addicted to the dopamine that used to get me high. Solitude ain't all that bad when your ghost is floating in my mind. My mind, my mind, my mind. Treat your neighbor as yourself sounds good when we agree. And the scale of what you give and take are shared evenly. It should come as no surprise to you. No one calls you in their time of need. This next part's about my dad. To all the boomers with .com accounts who only type in caps. To the summer that I spent in bed watching Yo MTV raps. To the mean girls in your life who post on Instagram. There's a hell that's burning hot as heck awaiting there for them. And there's a dentist talking suicide to a mirror during tea. There's a waiting room filled with screaming kids who never brush their teeth. There's a Jesus Christ getting crucified in a picture behind me. They hung him there to let you know times could be worse than these. My skin's wearing thin, nothing makes me smile. Addicted
dopamine that used to get me high. Solitude ain't all that bad when your ghost is floating in my mind. My mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. Thanks, everybody. This is another song that I wrote. I've been getting, I wrote a song, I played in a punk band called the Homeless Gospel Choir for a long time. When I was in that band, I wrote a whole bunch of songs, not only by myself, but with other people too. And I got a little bit, I got asked to write this one song for a restaurant chain called the Guilt Buffet. I don't know if y'all have heard about the Guilt Buffet. They haven't really put it into Pennsylvania too much yet, but they do have it in Ohio and Indiana and Illinois state. They got it up there in Michigan. They've been putting them into Kentucky and Nashville, Tennessee area. They're moving them into Memphis. But if you've ever gone to like your Aunt Lisa's house and you've been there for like a holiday dinner, and Aunt Lisa says to you something like, "How do you ever expect to find a decent job with tattoos like that?" It's going to be very difficult for you to find an agreeable partner with such a negative disposition on police and government. How do you ever hope to provide for a family with, no job skills? And, all the shame and guilt that you feel at, Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and 4th of July party and Labor Day party and Memorial Day party and birthday parties and funerals and weddings. This restaurant chain called the Guilt Buffet figured out a way to take all that shame that you feel from Aunt Lisa and they cook it down into this gravy. And they put it all over the food. And no matter how much you eat, no matter how much you guzzle it down, you're never satisfied. There's this huge gaping hole inside of you that'll never be satisfied by this gray flavored gravy that they put all over their food at the Guilt Buffet. Anyhow, they have coupons in the paper on Sunday. You can have like a 2-for-1 kids eat on Saturday before 2. They're all over the place. Anyhow, like any respecting restaurant chain, they were soliciting bands to write songs for the radio. And at this point in time, I was riding high. I was a big fancy punk rock band. We were jet setting all over the place. Everybody thought we were so special and wonderful. And they asked Turnstile, and they said, "Turnstile, will you go ahead?" You guys all heard about Turnstile, right? They went ahead and they asked Turnstile, and they said, "Will you write a commercial for our restaurant chain?" And they said, "Well, we've already committed to Taco Bell, so we can't go ahead and do it." And then they went ahead and they asked Paramore, and they said, "Hey, Paramore, will you go ahead and will you write a song for a restaurant chain?" And they said, "We have more money than God. We're not interested in that at all." And then I don't know if you believe this or not, but I was third on the list after Turnstile and after Paramore. They went and they called me up, and they said, "Will you write a jingle for our restaurant chain?" And I said, "I love money. I'll do it." So this is This song is on a split record that we put out with Endless Mike and the Beagle Club and Joe Jack Talcum of the Dead Milkmen and Mikey Erk. This song's called Guilt Buffet. This is a protest song about a restaurant chain. They haven't sent me the check for writing this song yet. I'm super bummed about it. Also, I was listening to a bunch of Korn and the Bloodhound Gangs whenever I wrote this song. It goes like this. Everybody's looking for someone else to change and looking for someone like them to take a little blame. You can be a different person or start again today, but at the Guilt Buffet, everyone pays. Isn't it strange how it all works out that way? 7, 8, 9, 10, the Guilt Buffet is open like 7 days a week. There's always 2 for 1 there, and the kids can eat for free. Every time you leave there, you swear it off for good, but it's hard to say no when there's a Guilt Buffet open. Take
fuck your wife and kids. It's time for Guilt Buffet. Guilt Buffet again. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. Say points. The roof is on fire. At the Guilt Buffet, everyone pays. Isn't it strange how it all works out? All works out that way. Thanks! This next song is a love song. I've been thinking a lot about love and finding it and looking for it. I've been looking for the Lord left and right. I've been, well, I'll tell you about it later. It's that dryer smell, you can always tell. Nope, I think that's in the wrong key. It's a dryer, let me try it down here. Cool. I'm still new. It's a dryer smell, you can always tell. You aren't too far from home. Certain memories you only share with someone that you know. I always get those goosebumps when I see you swoon. You got me feeling like George Bailey, lasso in the moon. Oh, the brightest star in every sky lets me know I'm a lucky type to be breathing the same air as you. My whole life I felt alone, like I'm the only one at home, until I met you. Now I feel brand new. I don't feel alone when I'm with you. 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 Man, one day I heard you say, I don't feel alone when I'm with you. That's the lead. I'll be your shot of oxygen in the Tour de France. I'll be your giant bag of Dorito flavored dust. I'll be a doormat that you walk on if you need me to. I'll be your own George Bailey, lasso in the moon. Oh, the brightest star in every sky lets me know I'm a lucky type to be breathing the same air as you. My whole life I felt alone, like I'm the only one at home, until I met you. Now I feel brand new. I don't feel alone when I'm with you. Thank you. So there's a funny thing that happened on this tour. Dan and I have been friends for a super duper long time. I played a million shows with his old band Listener. We've toured all over the place, maybe 150 shows, maybe more than that. We've played, they're the first band ever to take me out for serious and teach me about DIY and teach me about printing my own t-shirts and teaching me about booking my own shows and teaching me about pressing my own records and teaching me about all that type of stuff. And I never would have left Pittsburgh, and I never would have had a chance to go out and show people my music if it wasn't for Dan Smith, and that's the truth. And I just want to say thank you, Dan. You've done a great service. One thing I would like to say that's bad about Dan is that I too have a song about werewolves, and I don't think it's very fair that you had a chance to play your werewolf song before me tonight in Pittsburgh, especially since we talked about it. But if you think for 1 second that I'm afraid of you, I'm not. You got another thing coming. I'm not scared one slice. I wrote a song called The Wolf Man, and it's a political song. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news or watching your cell phones at all, but it's looking like a certain type of a way. Like, it looks like a horror movie. It looks like the Wolfman's out to get you. It looks like there's this big ominous creature with fangs and claws that smells like the lightest sniff of blood in the air. And when the full moon comes out, he might bite your head off. Anyhow, I'm not trying to tell you how to vote, but this is a song about somebody we all know. Also, too, I've always wanted to write a Halloween-styled song, but I did so many shows with Harley Poe, I thought it was super unfair for me to, like, really lean into that. So I just wrote one, and it's called The Wolf Man, and I'm going to play it next. And there's a howling part, too, and I know that Dan asked you to howl for his, but can you pretend that he didn't and just howl for me for the very first time, and we're going to do it for the chorus, and there's, like, a really cool part. Also, too, I also want to say about this song, because it's new, and I think it's good to just explain it, is that I know that it sounds like Danzig, I know that it does. I know that it sounds that way. I did it on purpose. It's a Halloween song about a werewolf. It's going to sound like the Misfits or Danzig. That's what's going to happen. So at the end of the show, I don't want you to come up and be like, you sound a lot like Danzig on that song. I fucking know. I wrote it that way. It's on purpose. That's not your Uncle Bob, that's the werewolf man. Look out, he's hungry as a beast. He'll chew you up and spit you out just to chew you up again. He's hunting down his next piece of meat to eat. It could be you, it could be me. You better run and hide. And now we all howl together. Oh, 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 oh. He's the werewolf man. The werewolf man. The werewolf's bite will take your life and make you just like him. Razor sharp teeth and claws make you feel born again. The blood of the young and the blood of the old are both the same to him. You better look out, 'cause if you don't, you could be the next werewolf man. I tell you the truth, he's coming for you. You better run and hide. Oh, 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 oh. He's the werewolf man. The werewolf man. Silver bullet, silver stick, silver spoon-fed idiot. He'll play you like a fiddle and then send you on. You better watch your back, baby. The wolf man will. Oh, 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 oh. And this song. Thank you. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, this is another new song. The song's called January 1st, and I wrote it on January 1st of this year. And I was on the couch sitting next to my partner Lindsay, and we were just, doom scrolling on our phones. I don't know about y'all, but like I never thought like New Year's was like a really celebrated holiday. I kind of never cared about it. There wasn't really anything to do that I thought was fun, and I'm not really good at dieting or whatever. So like I wasn't gonna go ahead and just say I'm not gonna have milkshakes. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them this year, and I'm gonna have them next year too. So I was never really good at any of that type of shit. But and, you know, there's nothing open, and everybody else is kind of like, oh, well, it's a holiday, so you kind of should be by yourself. Anyhow, I was just thinking about, you know, how long it took us to get here, and where we've been since we got here, and what put us here on this earth, and what happens to us whenever we go. And maybe this is just like the millionth time that we've done this, and we get to this place where we're able to, like, practice mass agriculture and make sure that there's enough food for everybody, and then we figure out a way so that only the rich people get good food and all the poor people have to have bad food, and then we figure out a way to make more money off of certain things, and then we get to a place where we drill deep down into the earth's crust and we pull out all this black bubbling crude so that we can fuel our machines, and then we pollute the earth so bad that, you know, it's unsustainable for human life, and then the rich people get to be super duper adventurous and like, we're gonna check it out. We're going to leave everybody in this big spaceship, and we're going to get in there, and we're going to go to another place, and only the rich people will be able to go, and we'll colonize this new thing. And right before they get to do it, the world ends, and, you know, all the pollutants that we put down into the earth mutate the amphibians and the reptiles to extra large size, dinosaurs, and, you know... And then there's a band called the Smashing Pumpkins, and they made 3 super good records, and then the rest of them are kind of shit. And those kids put all those CDs down into the ground, and through years and years and years of pressure and heat, those things turn into the black bubbling crude, and they come back up. And the Smashing Pumpkins were here 1 million years ago, and 1 million years ago, and 1 million years before that. And so was Cardi B, and so was Jay-Z and Beyonce, and so was Frank Sinatra, and all of it. It's just a big, huge rerun that happens, and whoever's in charge, whoever's pulling the strings is like, man, once they get to the place where, like, everybody can eat, let's just hope they chill, and they never do, and the rerun just keeps happening. Anyhow, this is a song about January 1st. It's also a song about dinosaurs, and it's also a song about the same dinner that I have every single year right before New Year's at Christmas that I just want to avoid. Staring down the vortex of an ever-changing chaos with the gall to think that maybe there's a chance that I can make it as an actor in this constant Truman Show that I am living, with this dentist drill is screaming through the teeth that I need fixing. I'm a plastic bag of thrift store clothes, size or too small, but with hopes I'll change my evil ways, I'll fit into them by fall. I'm a virtue signal, sense of shame that's thinner than a ghost. I'm a digital dopamine with no content to post. You're a brand new pack of unworn socks on January 1st. You're a fresh hot cup of coffee when I needed it the worst. You're a birthday gift, a radio hit, a royal flush in spades. You're my favorite book and my favorite chair. You're a firework display. There's an ocean's worth of misgivings about us keeping on, but there's only one way I know to go until the quasar takes us all. So here's some money back to the middle class in their tax returns while they're laughing at your funeral and pissing in your urn. There's a cat that needs a calling who got loose out the back door when the police took the body off a tarp off the back porch from a time bomb that's been ticking since you were old enough to work. Then you blamed it on the health care that you never voted for. From the road up to the highway to the freeway to the moon, burning gallons worth of dinosaurs in my Subaru to prove to you that you and I are different. If I'm telling you the truth, we just let convenience lead us into different voting booths. I said that's the devil talking, buddy. We're as different as can be. I'm not convincing you of anything, and you're sure not fooling me. I'll leave my brain inside my car till after we have pie, 'cause after that I French exit my favorite goodbye. Oh Jesus Christ almighty, is this how it's gonna end? With our fingers on a button called we're never giving in. I say we just start over, let the ice age begin. Let's hear it once more for the dinosaur encore again. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to say? Or?
What do you think of the new All Students album?
Okay, hold on. I think it's great. they were super duper fun to play shows with. They're really, really nice, and they shared their backstage snacks with me, so I'm super grateful for that. Yes, back there.
What are the 3 Smashing Pumpkin records?
Gish, Siamese Dream, and the first only half of Melancholy and Sadness. There's too many songs for them all to be good. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. I think it could have made one, even that with the airplane flies high, it could have been one killer LP and like 2 amazing 7-inches, but I think Billy was a little bit, he was showing his pride, I think. But yeah, whenever he started shaving his head and spitting loogies into the crowd, I was kind of, that was it for me, I think.
Black Sabbath aside, do you like any other metal?
Yeah, I do. I've been listening to some Danzig now that the weather is getting better, and I've been sometimes when I think about me and if I've ever evolved to like a perfect state, it would be me in a convertible smoking cigarettes, littering, listening to Glenn Danzig or Sam Hain or Danzig era Misfits. Just with my blouse off, just crushing cigs, just flicking them up and. The population's too dense now for that type of behavior, but if there was cars in Glen Danzig in like 1890, it was totally feasible for all of us to litter and not worry about it, for sure. It's great to be back here in Pittsburgh. Thank you very much. Okay. It's strange to go ahead and make new songs. It's not strange to go ahead and make new songs. I want to take that back. It's strange to start something new at 42. And starting something new isn't anything new than anything else that I've ever done. I've always just played by myself solo acoustic, except for the 5 years where I didn't. And it's been very fun. I want to also say thanks to Larval State too. Can we clap for Larval State? That was so wonderful. It was new, and it was fresh, and it was exciting, and it was good, and it was everything I want from a rock band. It was everything that I want from a rock band. You guys are so good. And also we'll clap for Dan Smith too, my tour pal. Dan sang at my wedding, and we've slept in the same vehicle many times, and we've slept in the same hotel bed many times, and you're one of the best I've ever known, Dan. Thanks for doing this with me. This is great. Okay, I'm going to play another tune that y'all might know. This is off of a record. This is an older song. This song's called Blind Faith, and it's about a whole bunch of different things. And I want to say it just now because, and I'm not trying to say this to be sensationalist or in any way, shape, or form. Or I'm not saying it because there's people in here that I know that love me and that want good for me in my life. In a world where it's not good to be kind, where it's not popular to be kind, or it's not popular to share, or it's not popular to give, I've been thinking about just the teachings of Jesus and what he meant. And I've been reading the Bible for the first time in a super duper long time, and I'm not trying to get anybody else to think the way that I think. I don't care. I don't need you to. But I just want to talk about like the importance of the big sadness that's floating above us, and like what it means to share and to give to those who are less fortunate and to give to those who don't have anything. And the most subversive thing that I think we can do in a time where greed and selfishness and me taking all and whatever's left for you, fuck off type of an attitude, that like the idea of like serving those who are the most vulnerable and serving those who are in a weak state, or serving those who've never been served, or they get left out, or they get forgotten. And I'm not talking about heaven, and I'm not talking about water into wine. I'm not talking about any of that hocusy pocusy shit. I'm talking about real life paths and patterns for you to be a good person to other people. And I've been inspired by it outside, even with all the mystical shit. I've been inspired by it in a big way. This song is called Blind Faith. This is a protest song about, the big huge nothing that's floating over us. And I hope it's your new favorite song. You'll never get it right if you give up now. You eat it all up just to shit it all out. Half-price golden calf at the Golden Corral. EpiPens and honeybees for all. Potato
made a sack rat race, last place pays for the wall. It's only up to you what you're gonna take. Will you stay miserable because you're stuck in one place? Goddamn Marianne, I'm so amazed by your grace. There's always a gig cleaning up someone else's hurt. And I've been thinking too much about going back to church. Faith healer dealing pregnancy test, Stockholm syndrome citizen's arrest. I've been thinking too much about giving in to it. Blind faith. Does the spirit move you like a cattle prod? Locker room talk, the perverted word of God. So take it from a thief on the right side of Christ. Hey! Who prayed for salvation on that dark and stormy night? What made you feel you did something wrong? Are you ashamed to be seen by your kids? Having to pay for someone else's sins? Still small voice that's too big to fail's got me feeling goosebumps like the Bible in Braille. I'm finally sure that there's nothing more than this. Still small voice that's too big to fail has got me feeling goosebumps like the Bible in Braille. I'm finally sure that there's nothing more than this. But blind faith. But blind faith. Blind faith. Thanks, everybody. I have time for two more songs, and then that's almost all the new ones that I know. This song is called Calm Down Meditation, and I wrote this song as a calm down meditation for myself. I was having a panic attack after I was stealing some records from the Target in Lancaster. There's no children here, I don't think. You know, shoplifting's fun. There is a certain rush that you get when you do it. And I'm not talking about, I don't want to see you guys going in like a mom and pop shop and stealing candles. And I don't want to hear you about going into like, you know, a skate shop and stealing a skateboard. I'm talking about Target. I'm talking about, there's a modest record section in the Target in Lancaster, and I saw Kendrick Lamar's Damn just sitting there, and it was like $42. And I was like, you know what? I paid for this record 1,000 times already inside my heart. I'm taking it. And then my friends in April from Apes to the State says, do you know that the Target in Lancaster County has more security cameras in it than every other Target because they do all their testing for shoplifters there? So if you took something, they already know. And I was like, I have to write a song about it. This song is called Calm Down Meditation, and if you've ever had a panic attack before, or you ever feel nervous, or you feel like you want to headbutt your way to hell, this song could help you out. Well, calm down, you're boiling over. This isn't that big a deal. Hold on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. some. So this is people are always, it's hipster to shop local. I don't know if y'all know about that, but if you always see shirts and stuff that says shop local. Well, those T-shirts in the back were made in Braddock. So if y'all don't get one, everyone's gonna know. They're gonna put you on the internet that you don't like to shop local. I made some art back there too. If you want some of it, you can have it with your money, and I'll be back there to receive it. Like an open catcher's mitt, just fastballs of money right into my. I'm gonna see Lindsay tomorrow. I'm gonna take her out to a super fancy lunch, where they put you know what I mean? Have you ever been to a lunch where they put lettuce underneath the croissant sandwich? Have you ever been to one of those? Fancy, silverware, fancy. This is the last song I'm playing. It's called Pennsylvania Songbird. It's about my mom, and it's I have two nieces now, Arabella and Camilla, and what it means to be young now and what it means to be a child today. And that's what this song's kind of about. And it's about also when my dad passed away 5 years ago, and when he did, we had this big shitty brick garage in the backyard for my whole life, and it was always falling apart, and it was super gross. And every year we're like, why don't we just tear the garage down? And my dad's like, because it's too expensive to get rid of, which is true. But within hours of my dad passing into the next life, my brother looks at me, he's like, we're gonna get rid of that garage now, right? It was a moment of breath. It was a moment of through all the chaos and the shit, he's like, we're gonna get rid of that red brick garage now, right? I was like, totally, let's do it tomorrow. And I also wanna say this, to pay for good refuse is expensive. If you have a refuse company and they come and they take a roof and they take bricks, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. Luckily for me, in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, I know a guy. And his name's Jason, and he lives at the bottom of the street, and he has a dump truck that doesn't have a license plate on the back, and I know he doesn't have insurance. Does anybody else have a Jason in their life to help you get an inspection on your car? You know what I'm talking about. If the emissions doesn't pass, take it up to Johnstown. I know what you guys are up to. So we have a Jason in our life. Wouldn't you know, Jason, and we called Jason hey, can you go ahead and get rid of the bricks? He said, yeah, $500, no worries about it. $500 to get rid of the garage. We go ahead and we get rid of the garage. Turns out, Jason took those bricks and he just dumped them at the par 3 in West Mifflin, right across from St. Agnes Church, right there in Mudhall, and just dumped them and took off. A few days later, Jason calls up and says, hey, did you hear anything about, did you hear anything? And we're like, no, Jason, we heard nothing. Secret safe with us, Jason, $500. So you'll hear about that in this song. This song's called Pennsylvania Songbird. It's the best song I've ever written, and you guys should agree. I think I'm going to change the song. This is the best song I've ever written. If you have any sense, you'll agree. From the town I grew up in, they're speaking in tongues and they're handling snakes. Oh, the Holy Ghost power is enough to heal ya, but it never shows up until it's too late. My mother's garden is the best in the county, a bed full of red beets and rows full of kale. She waters it early before the sun rises, 'cause her medication don't mix with heat well. Oh, my father buried the cat by the brick shed. We never did find it when we tore it down. We hired the neighbors to remove the rubble. They buried it at a golf course on the rich side of town. Oh, money's subjective when you come up with nothing. My old man, he taught me to dig through the trash and to check all the dates on the back of the canned goods and smile when you do it so you get the last laugh. My brother played football and I went to tech school. We both started working before we were 10. He bought a used car and I bought a guitar. He wakes up to work out, I eat takeout in bed.
Oh, I cough in the morning after years of smoking, or maybe it's due to the steel mills back home. But I sure am lucky for the hand I was given, 'cause you can't drink the water in Butler County anymore. The Pennsylvania songbird knocks like a hammer and sings like a church bell on Easter Sunday. The turnpike is costly from Philly to Pittsburgh, costs almost half of a worker's day rate. My brother's baby is as cute as a button. Everyone says she looks like Uncle D. But I'm scared to have children, 'cause I used to hear voices, and I'd hate to have somebody turn out like me. Oh, the girl that I married moved me from my hometown to try something new on the east of PA. The buggies and horses in Lancaster County remind me it's okay to slow down my pace. The Pennsylvania songbird knocks like a hammer and sings like a church bell on Easter Sunday. Thank you guys very, very much. Thanks, everybody. Thank you to Local State. Thank you to Dan Smith. Thank you to Bottlerocket. Thank you to Brett. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to everybody who worked tonight.